Don't panic. I repeat, don't you dare panic. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. There's so many rumours, it is actually beyond a joke. However, sometimes you get to pinpoint a specific rumour and you start to dissect it a little bit and you start to realise that there are some really crazy and absolutely crazy mental stories. And one of those stories is that, according to reports, Roma are interested in Emerson Palmieri of West Ham. Now, listen, I don't deny whatsoever that they may show an interest in the player. He's an Italian international. He's got a history of playing, obviously, in the Italian leagues. And there may be a point in his life that he may want to go back to Italy. Obviously, Brazilian born as well. But he joined West Ham last summer. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was underwhelmed. I was more excited elsewhere. It wasn't last summer, sorry. It was August of 22. And I was underwhelmed. I was more excited about all the other signings. And he never got a lot of starts, to be honest with you, to start with at West Ham. It took him a while to really settle in. We saw little glimpses of when he first moved. We saw little glimpses. I think he had 22 games that he played in his first season at West Ham after signing. And then kind of dripped away into other, performances, all that sort of stuff, and nothing to write home about. Our Premier League form wasn't fantastic, etc. But it was that game, it was the final against Fiorentina that really we saw the best of what Emerson Palmieri can do. He was so aggressive. He was so unbelievable, actually, in the game. It was the one game that finally made me feel connected to this player, and this player actually physically understood what his remit was and what he was going to do. And what he was going to do was go provide West Ham fans with the reason why we signed him. And he was relentless in that game. He really was. He won the ball back. He was aggressive. He was pushing forward all the time. He was causing Fiorentina problems left, right, and centre. And he's not really looked back since then. He's really not. And he's honestly, he's became a fan favourite. He's became a very important player to West Ham. And I genuinely didn't think he would be the one that would take over that mantelpiece from Aaron Creswell. But he has, and he gives you options as well. He doesn't just play as a left back, he can play as a left winger. And he does and has built up a lovely rapport with Lucas Paqueta. In actual fact, they play so well off of each other that they create real, genuine opportunities. And you know what? With the likes of Benrahma potentially heading out of the club, even when Benrahma plays, they look a lot more comfortable when Emerson's playing. I love his ability to go forward. I love that. I think that's great. I think he actually, if I'm being really honest, I think sometimes he puts the brakes on. The amount of times we watch all the games and you see him going forward and you think, my God, he's got the pace to break. And sometimes you feel like he puts the brakes on to look over to see who's coming up alongside him. And sometimes I just scream and shout, say, go, go, go. Just go for them. Go for it. Because I think he's got the pace to beat many of the players on that side. But the one thing I can say about this rumour is I don't believe whatsoever that Emerson is leaving this club. Not now, anyway. And I wish, with all due respect to his age, I wish he was younger. He is 29, but I do wish he was younger. But he's still got many years ahead of him. But how good would it be if he was younger, because you knew you could have a long-term option at that left-back position? He does have a 1-year extension on his contract, an option of a further year. His contract expires in June of 2026 with an option of a further year. But what he has done is become very indispensable to West Ham in our team. And he is a player that's up there with many of the fans. And a lot of people are actually, apart from Kudus's inclusion into the team and Alvarez's performances he's been doing and Paqueta's performance and Bowen scoring goals, if it wasn't for that, Emerson would be up there for a potential Hammer of the Year shout. So I brought this video to you to say that, and I think it's right to bring it to you to say, don't panic, don't worry, he is not leaving. Emerson is not leaving. Emerson's built up such a nice rapport. Obviously, he speaks Portuguese, he speaks Italian, he's multilingual, he speaks English, and he's a very, apart from the fact he's a very good player, he's very good to have in the dressing room. We saw all of the antics that took place after winning that Europa Conference League. We saw how important he became to making Paqueta settle in at the club. Multilingual, very good on the ball, and of course, he's the only player, I believe, that's won every single UEFA competition. What a feat. What an absolute feat to have that under your belt. Conference League winner, Europa League winner, Champions League winner, Super Cup winner. Just everything there. What an unbelievable feat for a player that I hold my hands up and underestimated. So don't worry, he's not leaving. Join Rusty B later on for a little cheeky West Ham daily as he gives you his transfer ratings. And I will talk to you all soon. Come on, you irons.